David Baye here for MuscularDevelopment.com on behalf of Iron Mag Labs. We are here in Tampa for the 2014 IFBB Tampa Pro, but we're going to talk about something a little bit different right now. I am with Tony Doherty, promoter, a long-time Australian Grand Prix. In 2015, however, it will be the Australian Arnold. Tony, I haven't really talked to you much since March. What have you been up to? Obviously, you've been crazy busy.
Yeah, been pretty much travelling since March. So that we did the Arnold in Rio, then I went up to Pittsburgh, then home, then went to Body Power in London and somewhere else since then. And so it's just been one hell of a year. It's been non-stop, yeah. And so back here in Tampa this weekend and ready to do it all again.
Now, obviously, your show has been one of the more successful shows, not just in the States, but the shows overseas. You know, you've had huge names going there every year. The guys love it down there. It was my first trip to Australia last year, and I have to say, Melbourne is absolutely gorgeous. As far as the show itself, though, you know, you've had a really successful run with the Australian Grand Prix. It was a big expo. What are some of the differences we're going to see now that it's an Arnold? I mean, as far as the size of the expo and the number of vendors, things like that.
Well, the expo is about 60% bigger, so we've got 15,000 square metres, so it's huge. The biggest difference, I guess, it becomes a multi-sport festival. So we're up to 26 sports, so we'll have around 10,000 athletes involved, and that's Arnold's big push, is to get people into fitness and sport and working out. So we've got sports like triathlons and taekwondo and all these different mixed martial arts and, you know, indoor-outdoor sports, gymnastics, all sorts of stuff. So it's bringing more and more people in. Then, of course, they all get wristbands to come to the expo, so the expo's busier. But the space is selling really, really quick, and it's just been phenomenal.
Now, anybody that's been there knows that Melbourne Convention Center is huge. But with the size of the event going on, is everything, all these athletic events that you're talking about, is that still going to be in-house at the Melbourne Convention Center, or are we spreading it out a little bit more to some other venues?
Most of it's in-house, except for the outdoor events, cycling, triathlon, that sort of thing. But we've got more space, and over the next 5 years I've booked. So what you saw last year, we had 7 bays of a 20-bay auditorium. This year we're up to 10. And we go up again, and by 2017, I've got the whole place. So it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Now, as far as the IFBB events, we know at at the Arnold and at the Olympia, sometimes they hold some of the IFBB events at the actual expo hall. Some are at the at the auditorium or the show. Now, anybody who's been to the Australian Pro knows that the actual auditorium where the show is held is in the same building as the expo. So that being the case, is everything still going to be in the auditorium, or are you going to try to mix it into the expo a little bit?
A little bit. Same as last year, we did the women's pro bikini and pro figure pre-judging on the main stage in the expo, then did all the men's pre-judging in the hall, and so this year it'll be pretty much the same thing, but we're going to do some of the amateur events in the pro hall as well. Okay. And what you saw with that, even though it's a magnificent venue, we're only using 1/3 of that, so I've doubled the size of that as well. So that goes from a 2,500 seat auditorium up to 5,000, and we've sold more tickets already for next year's show than what we sold for all of this year, and that's with 8 months to go and no athletes signed. So the Arnold brand's just phenomenal. You know, the fans are loving it. The exhibitors are really behind it. We've got sponsors coming from everywhere, and it's a whole new ride for me.
So can we expect to see the fireworks? And when I say fireworks, I don't just mean it in I mean, in a literal sense. There was fireworks. The first time I've ever seen it, they opened up the finals last year. The stage was going nuts. You had a pose down, not only with the men, every athlete there before the show even started. The fans absolutely loved it. Are we going to see the stage blow up again before you get things started?
Yeah, look, bigger and better stage sets, the bigger auditorium. Of course, fireworks. I've done them all 14 years. I've done the Australian Pro. I've always thought the bodybuilding's got to be entertaining to keep the people coming. So what I try and do is pure bodybuilding entertainment, and we're certainly going to entertain. We're going to blow shit up. It's going to be like nothing you've ever seen.
All right, guys. Well, anybody who's been to one of Tony's shows knows that he's not lying. Entertainment is certainly something that you are going to get when you go to the Australian Grand Prix. Again, now the Arnold Australia. We're going to wrap things up here, Tony. We know you're busy running around here. Your wife actually competing this weekend in figure, am I correct?
Yeah, correct. She took second at the Body Power Expo in London, and just needs a couple of points to get through to the Olympia. So this is one of the last shows you can do it in. So She's never been here to Florida. I haven't been here since 1991. I was here for the Olympia in Orlando in 91. So it's great to be back in Florida at a Tim Gardner show. Certainly an amazing amount of athletes, and the whole atmosphere here is great. Everyone's here. So it's like, for me, it's a good catch-up. I'm not working for one, so it's real good.
Right, nice to relax a little bit. All right, guys. Well, definitely thank you for your time, Tony. We're not going to look past the Olympia or the Arnold here in the States, but we're definitely looking forward to the 2015 Arnold Australia, and I'm sure hoping that MD sends me back because I love Melbourne. So once again, we're going to wrap it up. This is David Baye for MuscularDevelopment.com and Iron Mag Labs with your promoter of the 2015 Arnold Australia, Tony Doherty.